This is that Craig Rennie from Haagen Security and Tactics. Today I want to talk to you guys about some range etiquette, or introduction to the range. So you bought a gun. We talked about this before. Uh, you bought a gun. You want to go to the range. For some things you need to bring with you: targets, ear pro, eye pro, some ammo, and you're going to walk in. The first thing you need to do is make sure that your gun is unloaded before you walk into the range. Make sure your gun is unloaded, slide is locked back, and your magazines are empty. The reason you're going to do this is because a lot of ranges, when you come up to the desk, are going to ask you, what are you shooting? If they want to see the gun, you want to make sure that it's safe and it's not going to be intimidating to them to see a loaded firearm or anything else. It shows that you have some form of concern for them. And most times, when you do that, you build kind of a rapport with those people, and they'll know, this is a guy that knows firearms. He's not going to come in here and try to kill us. But if you go to a range enough, people will start knowing you by name, and they'll know that your weapons are safe, and they'll tell you go ahead and go in, especially if you have all the equipment you're supposed to have. You pay your range fee, and you go ahead and go in. Uh, Once you get up to the counter and you pay for your stuff, if you have your iPro, Ear Pro, you won't have to purchase it from them, but you can rent them from most indoor ranges. Outdoor ranges, you're not going to have to deal with nobody. It's going to be a completely different set of rules, and I'll break those down here in a minute. When you walk into the actual firing range, you're going to pick yourself a lane. If you're new to shooting, I suggest you get an outside lane, not so much an inside lane, because you're going to have to travel with that firearm a much bigger distance from the back bench if you need magazines or if you need anything like that, or if your gun malfunctions and you have to clear a jam out, using a bore tool or something like that. You're going to want to have some room to do that, but not have to walk past people to do it. So you're going to find yourself probably a corner either side and you pick a lane. You're going to place your gun muzzle facing downrange on top of the desk, and then your magazines, and then your ammo, and then your targets. Which your targets, I normally keep my targets on the back bench with my bag and everything else like that. That way I can walk back and throw away a target and then pick up another one. So it's optional, whichever you feel more comfortable with. You're going to put your target on the clips. A lot of them have like little paper clip things that are on a line. You'll be a little clicky thing, and you push that up and it'll pull it towards you, and then you take off whatever was up there if there was something left up there, which there shouldn't have been. You take your paper clip and put it like that, take your paper clip and put it like that, and I have different kinds that you can put on there for different ones. There's some that have 4, there's some that have 2, there's some that have 1 for different types of targets. Just figure out the best one that's the best one for the target you're shooting, and then they'll have a line marked. Most indoor ranges have a line marked for concealed carry, and then there'll be the rest of the range. 21 feet is about where you have to qualify to get your concealed license. So if you want to practice with your concealed carry, that's what you do. You go to the 21 line and you do all that, and then you bring back your target, and it's as simple as that. When you are operating a firearm, you always shoot. When you hear a click, tilt the gun, pull out the magazine, make sure that the barrel is clear, set it down, and then you reload if you need to. If you have 1 magazine, that's what you do. If you have 2, you just shoot, lean it to the side, and then you're going to eject the mag, put a new mag in, pop the slide forward, all downrange. You never move the barrel. So there's no safety hazard, there's no you haven't broken any rules. You're still all downrange with it. If you end up having a jam, if you hear the dreaded click, you need to count to 10 from when you notice it. Don't try to pull the trigger again. Just count to 10 if you hear the click. And then you'll count to 10, and then you'll carefully drop your magazine and pull the slide back and let that round fall. And when you hear that round fall, you need to find it, and you need to set it aside from the rest of your ammunition, because that is faulty ammo. And if you do try to reshoot it again, God only knows what can happen to your firearm or yourself or the people around you. So it just is not worth having one more round to expend to destroy a gun or hurt someone else. You got to remember that you're shooting with other people, and these other people might not be as courteous to you as you would be to them. So that's a few of the things you need to do in an indoor range. Outdoor range, if you're going to go outdoors, okay, there's usually not the lines. You have to walk out. So you're going to walk in with all of your gear, you're going to set it down on your bench, and then you're going to get set up. Same rules apply, muzzle down range, always maintain proper muzzle control. You're going to, if there's someone else out there, you need to wait for them to have a pause, and then you need to make sure they see you and confirm and say, I'm walking out, are you good? And they'll either say yes or they'll say no. And if they say no, they're probably fixing to start shooting again. Wait till they pause again and say, are you all right now? Most people would just say, yeah, I'm good, and then set down the gun, because they understand that they want the same respect. If you're shooting and they need to put up targets and they say, hey, I'm walking out, they would expect you to say, sure, go ahead, I'm clear. And you set your gun down and you wait until they make it all the way back to their bench, and then you can start shooting again. If you're walking out to go put up targets, you make sure you make eye contact with them, make sure they say it's okay, and then you start walking out. You walk on out with your targets, and you go ahead and put your targets up, and then you walk back, and then they'll start shooting. Same thing goes both ways. It's the same way. If you end up having a malfunction on an open range, you do it the same way as you would at a indoor range. You make sure it's in a safe direction, drop the magazine, and you spin the round, and then you throw it away, or you put it away from your ammo to be disposed of later. Don't go repeatedly firing 400 rounds of ammunition until you're done. Try to take a break to let other people go out on the range, on an outdoor range. Indoor range, do whatever you want, but be courteous to other people. Do not, take a full automatic AR out to the range and just unload it, because the person next to you might be working on their concealed carry license, and they need to concentrate, and then they work on their shot placement. And they paid good money to be able to try to, get this training at this facility to get accurate enough with their gun to qualify for their concealed carry permit. But that's just a few of the gun stuff you're going to expect at a gun range. Make sure you clean up your mess, be courteous to other shooters, and that about summer. Make sure you wear your ear pro and eye pro always. Alright guys, this has been that Craig Greeny from Haganah Security and Tactics. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening or morning, whichever one it is, and I will see you guys later.